welcome back to X-Play. Now, in case you haven't been paying attention, here's some news. Every game that isn't Modern Warfare 2 or Halo 3 ODST has moved to the first quarter of 2010.
Yeah, BioShock 2, Mafia 2, Splinter Cell Conviction, and many others have abandoned their fall 2009 release dates, but why?
Yes, is it time for more polish, a strategy to avoid the competition, or some sinister motive we don't know about?
Joining us to discuss the great purge of 2009 is Giant Bomb's Jeff Gerstmann. Thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks. It's always great to be back, Mark.
So, Jeff, obviously there are two games that are not slipping, and that is Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 ODST. It's just the fact that they're such big games that a lot of the other publishers are like, hey, let's get away. We want to sell our games too.
I think that really is a big part of it. I mean, obviously, everyone that's making a game always wants a little bit more time. And if they can justify that by saying, like, well, we don't want to come out around these gigantic releases that are going to have these huge, just online kind of long tail things that's going to eat up kind of all the other time for all these players out there, it's probably a good thing both for the game and for the market.
Now, do you believe that some of the games actually need more fine-tuning, and which ones do you think are not actually ready?
If I had to guess, and I haven't really seen too much of it for myself, I'd say BioShock 2. I mean, there's no way that game can be ready, right? They just keep adding more and more developers to it. Was there 35 different studios now, each working on one small section of the game? And also public perception for that game hasn't been great, so it probably gives their marketing team a little more time to kind of justify, no, hey, here's why you actually want a prequel to the original BioShock that you all loved and now are lashing out against the sequel we're making.
Yes, because maybe if they show some single-player, not multiplayer, I might be a believer myself.
Exactly.
Now, I think the other company is Rockstar, because you're supposed to have Red Dead Redemption, and I believe even Max Payne. But this, as in many years past, that initial release date doesn't seem to ever hold. Should we ever believe Rockstar? That first time that they say it's coming out at this time?
Yeah, Rockstar is really kind of split. It seems when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, they're usually pretty good about just giving a straight-up date. Months in advance, which no one ever does. But then when it comes to pretty much everything else that they do, it's this kind of nebulous when it's done sort of thing. So I kind of give Rockstar a half pass, because when they say hey, Ballad of Gay Tony is coming out October 29th, you can pretty much bank on it. But if they say anything other than a full-on day and date, you just never know.
Now, why do you think the movie industry is able to actually release a movie on the day that they say it's going to come out, and why do you think that a game company seems, pretty incapable of that?
I think a big part of it is the movie industry just kind of knows what it's doing, and the technology doesn't change all that much, It's not like they have to invent a new camera every time they go out and make a new movie, but, there's always going to be new technology, so it's always going to, hit these weird snafus and weird snags all over the place, and, it's always experimental technology that seems to fall apart at the last and worst possible moment, and then they end up getting pushed back another 6 months or something like that.
So, obviously, a lot of these games have been pushed into early 2010, and while they may have moved to get away from certain titles, there seems to be kind of a smash-up that's happening early, 2010. You have God of War 3, you have Mass Effect 2, most likely we're going to see Splinter Cell as well. Are we going to create the exact same problem that we're trying to avoid in the holiday?
Yeah, definitely. And the other catch is that, you're not going to have people out there in that gift-giving mood going out and buying all these games. So it could be a bloodbath for some of these games that aren't kind of poking through and reaching people,
I mean, do you think that there's any hope for the video game industry to be sort of a year-round industry, or do you think we're always going to see this concentration in the holiday season?
I think we're going to see a split where you're going to have, games that are kind of pitched to a younger audience that's kind of relying on people buying games for them. Those games are going to be the ones that need to come out around Christmas. But, speaking as someone who likes to play games all year round, this can be nothing but a good thing for people like me, because, if I could get one great game a month for every month out of the year, instead of this weird summer drought where the only thing keeping me going are, builds of games that aren't coming out until the end of the year and the downloadable stuff that Microsoft and Sony have been putting out, that would just be awesome.
Which of the delays actually kind of irks you? You're like, I really wanted to play that one. Now I have to wait.
Well, I feel like as long as Modern Warfare 2 and Borderlands make it out this year, I'll be pretty much fine. But I have to say, the one that's kind of personally irked me the most is Dark Void. Every time I've seen it over the last year, it's kind of been looking better and better. So you kind of get torn between oh, I really want to play it right now, but if they're going to take that time to make the game better, that could be a good thing. So it's this constant struggle in my mind.
Well, good luck with your struggle, and don't listen to the angry voices, Jeff. Thanks so much for coming by.
Anytime, guys.